Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and what's been a couple of weeks since we've done an update for Tarkov, but it's honestly because there hasn't been that much news. We did get some info about Arena last week, but to be honest, Helldivers 2 kind of stole my attention entirely and I forgot about it. But with today, I figured there's enough stuff to talk about with Arena and how it's going to impact Tarkov that we can get you caught up on some of the things news-wise that have happened the last 2 weeks. But let's get the Tarkov stuff out of the way first, because I know that's what most of you are here for. Now, just in case for folks that might have missed it, we got a huge patch back on the 12th, February 12th, that had a ton of bug fixes and other changes on it. On paper, it was actually a really good patch, and you can go watch my patch review of that if you want to see what we got, but then got taken away because literally the very next day, BSG did what they almost never do, and they rolled back the patch, the entire patch. We've seen partial rollbacks or rollbacks of small pieces, but not anything of this scale in a very long time. And it was needed. The game was pretty much unplayable for a large section of the player base between performance issues and waiting session start bugs and all that kind of stuff. People just couldn't play the game. So we've pretty much just been waiting for them to get it fixed, the patch, and get it back in our hands and out to the game. And for the most part, they hasn't said much about it. It's been pretty quiet since they rolled it back. Now, there was a technical update on the 15th, but I think this was just to tie up the system in the game with the website on how you can now buy the co-op mode if you don't have EOD. So like I'm on my profile page here. This is where you do it. I've got the co-op mode because it says it's already been purchased, but that's because it's included with EOD. If you want to get this yourself, just so you know, it's $10 US if you have the same, I forget what version it is. And then it's $10 Euro if you have the world version, or I don't know. It varies from location to location. I'm not sure what everybody prices are. For my alternate account here, it was $10. But I've seen people that show it's 10 euros as well. So it's up to you if you want co-op mode. I know they're talking about adding a lot more features to it. So that's up to you if you think it's worthwhile or not. In addition to this, we got a publish of a spreadsheet that has all of the ammo on it. I opened it up here so you can get a quick peek. It's got a lot of info in here. Most of this isn't for a lot of the player base. It's if you want to get into the details, some of the things. The important info is on the wiki, and it's right. But it does kind of highlight something that's interesting, that BSG is willing to put this information out there and give it to people, but we still don't have it in game. And I think that's just a product that they haven't got to it yet. They've talked about wanting to do it, and we kind of have it in Arena. When you hover over guns, it shows you what the pen and damage is of the ammo that's with the weapon or what's in the mag, but we don't have it in the game. And it needs to be there. Instead of some spreadsheet that's shared on Twitter, which a huge portion of the player base doesn't even look at, it needs to be in the game for people to actually access and see. Even if it's just the pen and damage values on the bullets themselves, we have a lot of the other stats. I don't know why those aren't there right now. I'll throw this link down in the description, so if you want to check it out yourself, you can. But that's pretty much it for Tarkov. But stick with me here about Arena, even if you're not really interested in Arena, specifically because there's stuff there that is going to impact Tarkov directly. So let's get into that a little bit. And there's a little speculation here, but I'll make sure you know what that is and what isn't. First up, we got the roadmap from Tarkov for Arena, a preliminary roadmap. Now don't take this as like gospel or like rock solid. BSG and dates have never been tied hand in hand very well. They move them all the time based on their needs for stuff, which is good and bad, but it is what it is. So the first thing is by the end of February. So that's 7 days? Yeah, we got a week, and we are at the end of February. So a patch in the next week, if they stick with this, it's going to improve to the rank mode. We're going to have preset tier system, and an ability to select the preset tier before matchmaking. This is what a lot of people talked about with getting matchmaking to make more sense. It should be picked based on the tier of kit you're in. That's who you should matchmake against, not tier 2s matchmaking against tier 6s, which happened, especially at this beginning. They're going to do a preset system rework, complete preset rebalance, which means I guess they're going to go through all the presets and rebalance them, which is interesting. Improvements to the preset leveling system. My guess is this is going to have to do with how kits level up through the XP. All I can imagine is we're going to see something closer to World of Tanks or War Thunder, something like that, coming down the pipe, which we should. They've spent a lot of time figuring those systems out. There's no reason to not build off of what they've already done. There's no reason to recreate the wheel here. People have figured out what works. I don't think that you have to be original in everything you do to make a good game. So needless to say, they're also going to do team limit on buying same presets in a match. So if you're on a 4-man or a 5-man, you can't all pick the butcher kit, which is a problem right now. We'll get into that in a sec. I think that's important for balancing out the way the rank system is gonna work. They're gonna do the hitbox and armor system from Escape from Tarkov, and I have to look on my face doesn't give this away. I'm not excited about this. This system has a long ways to go in Tarkov still, and that's in a game that's an extraction shooter where you're not engaging constantly. In a competitive 5v5 TDM, whatever you want to call this, arena match, there's still too much RNG with it, and the inability to really have any reason to run some of the armors, I just don't know. I'm not a fan of this. I don't think it's going to be good for arena right now in the current state it is. There's a lot of changes that need to come, but it's coming quicker than later. Hopefully this means that because this is here, the bug fixes and the adjustments we saw from Tarkov, the last patch that was rolled back, will come into play here now, which maybe that means we get a patch with Tarkov at the same time we get arena or near to, because those systems are going to be tied to each other and how they function. I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and see, but something to cross your fingers and look forward to, that maybe this means that the patch for Tarkov is coming sooner than later as well. Because to be honest with you, I'm not super into Tarkov right now. Not just because I'm playing Helldivers and it's fun, but the exploits, the bugs with the armor, all of that stuff has really taken a lot of the fun for me out of the game. If that isn't for you, that's fine. Don't do what you do based on me. I play way more than you guys do probably, and that's a big part of it. So I'm basically waiting for the next patch to really dive back into Tarkov and finish my Lightkeeper tasks and get Kappa and all that kind of stuff, because I'm close, but I'm not quite there. Anyways, enough I'm blabbering. Improvements to the custom lobbies. This is a big one a lot of people want. They're just going to add more available presets and things like that. So I think we're going to get incrementally these additions to the preset lobbies. They're going to add them a little bit at a time. So it's going to be a long time before we get the full picture of what we were told about, years ago with, being able to fight bosses and PvE and all that kind of stuff. They're also going to add Chop Shop to the team fight mode, which is interesting. I don't know how they're going to do that. That map is pretty small. We'll see. It probably will work. I mean, they're not going to do something that doesn't work like that, I guess. But it's a cool map. I just didn't see it working in team fight real well. Game client performance optimization is what it is. Try to make the game run better. I know it still runs like crud on some people's systems. I've never had any issues with it. Lucky enough for me, good computer, but also no technical issues. I know people that have good computers that have problems with it too. Now the mid-spring patch. The mid-spring, I put even less faith in that date. And all I think back to is in 2022, when Nikita told us we were going to have arena by autumn of 2022. And then we didn't get it till December of 2023. I see dates like this and that just sticks in my head. I don't think we're going to see a year push on this patch, or this update, but mid-spring doesn't inspire confidence on the time frame, or that they have a hard time frame that they're trying to meet. Very fluid. But they're going to add the block location, game mode last hero. They're going to add unranked mode, which is super important. I can't believe they're waiting this long to add it. They just need to add it. Give people a place to go play that isn't ranked. We're going to get quality of life improvements, clean up crew behavior improvements, game client performance optimizations, anti-cheat improvements, synchronization of Escape from Tarkov, and Tarkov Arena game profiles. This is the big one. And this is where the dirty word wipe starts coming up. Well, it might be before this, or this might be the second one. I'll get into that in a sec though. This is where we're going to link our accounts from Arena and Tarkov. How this is going to work out, I don't know, because there's a money thing, there's an experience thing, there's a skills thing. All of this stuff is going to be very interesting to see how this actually plays out. On paper, it's super cool, but what is the effect on Tarkov and what is the effect on Arena? Because there's some skills you can power through in Tarkov that have a huge impact on Arena, and then there's some skills in Arena that you're going to power through that'll have a huge impact on Tarkov. Just for example, strength and endurance, you're going to level probably in Tarkov faster than Arena, but in Arena you're going to level your recoil skills and stuff like that really fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Plus money for a lot of folks is really easy to make in Tarkov, which makes money almost a pointless thing in Arena unless they limit the transfer somehow about how much you can move back and forth, or it's capped, or there's some kind of adjustment for it. Because like I mean, if you guys didn't see the clip, I bought a moonshine for 31 million on accident the other day. So poof, 31 million rubles gone. I went from 35 or 36 or something, I don't remember exactly, down to like 4. But I'm already back up to almost 30 million rubles because it's not that hard for me to make money. I have a lot of experience in the game, and the more experience you get, the easier it gets. So having that ability tied in Tarkov means that money is almost pointless in Arena for me. It is right now, even more so with the events. But we'll just have to, it's going to be interesting to see how that all ties together. And the last thing is the implementation of overtime system and team fight, which I think is good. The cleanup crew and the way the system works now is just not good. I don't like it. And so excited to see those. And then Midsummer. Now, this is a Midsummer content patch. This is going to be a wipe in Tarkov. Probably this time around of the wipe in Tarkov, unless BSG changes it. We usually see a wipe, 6 months at a time. So figure sometime in the summer, June, July-ish, maybe August if they do a long one again. So this patch, I would imagine, might be around the same time as that, but they're going to do preset customization where you can actually adjust the presets. Some things in there. We'll see how that works. If it's full modifications or if it's just modifications to the weapons and like where the attachments sit, or there's a point system with you can use this site versus that site. You just have to wait and see. They're going to add another new unannounced location, a new game mode, various technical improvements, quality of life improvements, custom lobby improvements, match history. It'll be good to see, go back and look at stuff, viewing player profiles, and then achievement system. So that's stuff that's in Tarkov that they're going to bring in as well to Arena, which means those will probably be linked. I'll bet that by the time it's all said and done, your Arena and your Tarkov achievements, that whole character profile will be linked and look the same. Now, let's talk specifically about the very big impacts towards Tarkov. I'm going to blow through this real quick. We've had a couple of events. On the 16th, they gave everybody 5 million rubles and unlocked presets up to 500 MP. So if you're looking at the preset kits, we'll go to Scout. Everything up to 500 was unlocked. So these weren't, there we go. All of these were unlocked, but nothing below. So basically these are what? Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kits. So tier 5, and then below were unlocked. Well, then very shortly after that, they did another 5 million and unlocked to 600, which again just gives you another tier, 2 tiers here. You went to 6 and 7. It looks like it kind of depends on which kits you're looking at, but then you didn't have 8, 9, and 10. Well, that changed today on the 22nd. They gave everybody an additional 10 million rubles and gave presets all the way to all presets are unlocked now. So you can come into any of these kits and play the bottom presets if you want. A lot of people are talking about running into 4-man, 5-man stacks of butchers. It's pretty much what it's going to be. You're going to see a lot of the same kits. And I don't know how fun that'll be. I might get in and hop a little bit just to play around with some of the higher end kits to see what they're like. But for now, yeah, everything's unlocked. You have an absurd amount of money. I have 27 million rubles here in Arena, almost as much as I have in Tarkov. And that's just because they gave us 20 million rubles basically with the events. And this points to me to one thing: a wipe. They've completely broken the progression system. There is no progression system in Arena right now, and progression systems are one of the most important game loops in any game out there. If you don't have a progression system, your game is fun for all of like 10 minutes. Sarcasm, obviously, but this is BSG's kind of way of doing things. This points to a wipe in my mind. They haven't said they're going to wipe. I'm not saying BSG has said they wipe. This is all speculation and guessing from me, but I don't see how they don't lead to a wipe with this. And that means that per the, let me get back to the roadmap, that the end of February, when they completely overhaul the preset system and the rank system, that they're going to do a wipe, which makes sense because honestly, the rank system right now isn't really a measure of skill. It's a measure of grind. And that's the rank should be a combination of that, to be honest with you. Skill should be as much of an important how high you get into the ranks as it is just you grinding through it. So they're going to probably reset everybody back, everything from ranks and tiers and everything be reset to watch people plow through the progression system and find its flaws and fix it again as they go through this. So I would expect that with everything being unlocked and a complete overhaul to the systems coming, we're probably going to get a wipe with Arena. At least I hope so. If they don't wipe, it's going to be really weird to see how this all plays out. But maybe they do a partial wipe and just get rid of money and let people keep their ranks. I don't know. But then we get the content patch in mid-spring. And this is where I thought we were going to get a wipe. I thought the wipe was going to be tied to the linking of the accounts. When you link your Arena account and you link your Tarkov account. Now, in my mind, I was like, how do you link two separate character profiles without wiping one and just resetting it to the other? Well, here's an interesting idea, and I don't think this is an original thought. I honestly think somebody commented this somewhere, but I don't remember anywhere. But they may just pick the highest of both and then apply that to both accounts. So like, let's say, for example, you come in and you go look at your skills in here, right? And I have 2 strength and 2 endurance, but I'm 20 or 30 something strength in Tarkov and 15 endurance over there. These will get reset on arena to those skills because those are higher. But my recoil control, I believe, is higher over here. It might not be. My recoil control, let's say it's higher. Let's say it's only 2 over on Tarkov, but it's 8 here. This will be what gets applied to both accounts. So they'll just go through and apply the highest of whichever. And that's what the character on the account becomes on both of them. They could do that without wiping, and that could just be part of the process. Or they could wipe again in mid-spring. Just wipe everything on arena again, and then port everything over from Tarkov. And then obviously, once we have a Tarkov wipe in the summertime, assuming we have one, do we get another wipe in arena? I think we have to, at least of character stats. Maybe they don't wipe ranked progression or money, or well, they're gonna have to wipe money, but maybe they don't wipe ranked progression or anything like that, or kit progression, but they're gonna have to wipe money and skills, because you load into Tarkov with a level 1 character with 27 million rubles like I have right now, and all these skills, whatever you're at, it kind of eliminates the purpose of a wipe. So that's just my thoughts on it. That's just kind of how I think about it. Take it as that, just my thoughts, assumptions. Don't read into it anymore. So we may see some more events leading up to the wipe. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes they've always done something special in Tarkov. So maybe Arena will do something weird. You know, bosses are on the map, PvE kind of stuff. Hard to say exactly. I don't know what they're going to do. Just wishful thinking. And then we get a wipe in Arena, and we'll have to check out all the new stuff there. But we'll wrap her up there. Hopefully we get some news on Tarkov. I can fill you guys in. Appreciate you hanging out. I did blabber for a video that I didn't have much to talk about. I sure did blabber a lot. Hopefully it was helpful. Hope you guys got some information out of it. And hopefully I can talk to you guys soon. I wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.